below. As you can tell by the title of my video, it is Addict Talk Tuesday. I want to jump right into this, okay? Because I am so happy for my sister. She has 6 months clean. Woo! And I'm so happy she decided to take this awesome journey. It's not a journey that's easy, but it's a journey worth getting on that road and just going through whatever storms that come your way, whatever obstacles come your way. It is so worth it. And I just encourage people all the time, never give up that fight, man. You have to go just as hard for your recovery as you are going for that dope, man. Pick up that phone and call your sponsor if you're going through something. Just like you would call. How many times y'all call that dope boy? 30 times with 3 other people on the way. You got 5 people on the way for your drugs. But that phone call is about 1,000 pounds to pick that up and call for some help. Don't get me wrong. I know at times it can be hard because it is. I have 2 years. I'm proud of my 2 years. But I'm proud of a person that has just now coming. One day, anything as a chance to get to save yourself and save your life. And she's so awesome. And I'm so happy for her. It's been a really long journey for her. And I'm so excited that she did finally decide to get on board and stick and stay with this thing and get some clean time. It's awesome. She's so private, so maybe one day I'll have the chance to have her on and we can just talk to her about how her journey was and just give her the same love and support that I've been getting throughout with you guys. Now, today's talk, again, is actually going to be the first step in the NA book. Anybody know what that is? Acceptance. Acceptance is a huge step to take. Trust me. Because you got to accept some shit that you ain't got control over. You got to accept that the part that you play in things. Like, you have to accept. And it gets to a point where you finally understand what the true meaning of acceptance is. It's not just accept a cigarette. I accept the fact that I'm an addict. That's one big step. That's the first step, actually. But for me, acceptance was tough. It was tough for me to accept that I was like everybody else. Okay? And I'm not saying that to come off as if I think that I'm all that or I'm better than anybody. This is, my story, my journey, so I'm just sharing it with you. I had a very hard time with acceptance because I put myself in a box where I felt like I didn't lose anything or go through anything to be like everybody else. That took me a while to put behind me, I want to say. I don't know if I'm using the right word or not, but it took me a while to accept that, bitch, you got problems. No matter how much you dress it up with a little hair and makeup, you got problems when you wash it all off. There's still a fucking problem there. I'm sorry, it's still a problem there. So acceptance was a big thing for me because I would sit in these meetings and I would hear everybody else's story, and then my cunning, baffling disease would tell me, oh, you're not like them. Look at that. Listen at this story. Look what she's been through. You haven't been through none of that. You're not a problem. It's not a problem. Girl, when you point in one finger, how many more are pointing back at you? How many more? How many more? How many more? All 4 of them. And sometimes your finger fucked up, every last one of them. Put all your nubs. Put them back at you. Seriously. Turn them back to you and start to reflect. And that's what I had to do. I was in a program. It was an awesome program. And hopefully one day I'll have the opportunity to have that director on here as well. It's Sober Living America. And I'm sure a lot of people has heard of it. It's a really profitable drug rehab. They make a lot of money off of addicts, but you work what you work, okay? You're not going to find too many programs at all that's going to accept you for nothing and help you to become who you are, okay? Anything you do, you have to work it to your best of your ability. These programs don't keep you clean. NA meetings don't keep you clean. You have to work the steps of a meeting. You have to work the steps of your program. You can't just go to your program and say, hey, I've been here for so and so months and it ain't working. You're finding everything to complain about. That's not how recovery works. And that's what I had to learn. I had to learn recovery on my own, okay? I know in my first video, maybe my second one, I told you that the same person that introduced me to crack cocaine helped me to get off of crack cocaine, okay? He helped me by, first off, taking me to a detox center. I had no idea what the purpose of this detox center was for. I thought it was just a joke. I did it mainly because I wanted to be with him. It would make him feel better if I went with him because he had the problem and I didn't, you know? So that's how that went. I played around with it a lot. In and out of halfway houses. Didn't take it serious. Didn't care. Just like, I'm going to do me. I got me. I'm good. Like, I'm not an addict. You guys got problems. Like, you got problems. You need some help. Is what I was looking at other people and saying. And the whole time, I fit right in with you. Everything about you is me. Or I'm worse than you. And it took me a while to accept that. I would sit in meetings, and like I said, I would just listen to other people's stories, and I would just pick them apart. Every reason to say, that's not me. That's not me. Oh, sorry for you. That's not me. Not even knowing that same person's story was me. That same person that sat and said that they felt hopeless and helpless and not loved and not cared about and low self-esteem and had no one to turn to, been through abuse, been molested by their fathers, and that was me. Everything she said was me. Just because your journey is not the same as everybody else's, the lesson at the end is the same. There's only 2 ways out of this addiction. 3 ways. 2. Jails, institutions, or death. Jails, institutions, or death. So there's 3 ways out. 3 ways out. And I decided that day at that meeting, you know what? I'm going to have to accept some shit because this girl that is pouring her heart out sounds just like me. Sounds just like the girl that is too afraid to come out and say something because I'm worried about who's going to judge me. I'm worried about because my weave is on point and my makeup is good, who's going to judge me? I changed that around real quick because I realized if I didn't at some point get out of my way, those 3 options were going to be for me. Jails, institutions, or death. And I feel like a couple times I came close to death. So what was left? I made the decision to finally get out of my way. And it was the best decision that I could have made. I then was open to seek help. How to use the help. For one time in my life, I didn't sit and tell help how to help me. Because that got me nowhere either. I can't stand somebody to do that. You ask me for help, and then I'm telling you how you gonna help me. You might as well just shut up and sit back and you do your own thing. How you gonna ask me a question and you already got the answer to it? And that was me. I asked you just to see if you thought you knew what you were talking about. And I'll still figure out a way to tell you that ain't me. And it was every bit of me. The day I decided to get out of my way, I was broken down. I was tired. I felt like I didn't have no more fight in me. And I went to the counselor at my program. I love him to death. Iggy, you're going to be on here with me. I told him, I just broke down and I started crying. I said, I feel like I'm where I need to be, but how am I supposed to help myself? How am I supposed to do this? What am I supposed to do? What do you want from me? All I'm doing is reading a book. What is this supposed to do for me? How is this supposed to help me? I mean, I can answer the questions myself. Why I need somebody else to walk me through the steps? And he fought, and I sat and I fought with him. And he just looked at me and said, Shanita, you need to get out of your way. You need to figure out some type of way to put that shield down and let help you. All these questions that you coming at me, go find you a sponsor and ask them those questions. Go find you a sponsor with some clean time and ask them, how is this book supposed to help me? I did that. And I've had the same sponsor for 2 years through my ups and downs. And I'm not going to sit here and say that I have an easy 2 years clean, because it hasn't been an easy 2 years clean. I had a slip, I had a fall, but it wasn't about how I fell, it was how I got up. You can never just sit down in your fall and never get up from it. We have to learn as addicts that, well, not addicts or people in addiction. If you don't want to be called an addict, that's fine. It doesn't matter to me. I know I'm a human at the end of the day that had a problem and that needed some help. And I found a group of people that could help me with the same exact problems that I had. But when I walked in, everybody was different from me. It helped me to open up and talk to people. It helped me to put my pride to the side, look at myself in the mirror, and tell myself, you're worth it. You're better than what you make yourself out to be. You are somebody. As much as I told myself, it's still a big piece of me don't believe that. Even to this day, I don't believe that. I guess I've healed from the emotional hurt of the abuse from my father. But I feel like there's still a piece of me that's looking for an apology from him, some acceptance from him. I feel like, why I have to accept everything and you walk on with your life all fine, it's fine. So sometimes I do a battle with acceptance. But I know the more I keep working my program and I keep picking up the phone to call my sponsor, I keep networking, I keep being a part of my recovery group, that one day I won't have to seek that acceptance. Seeking that piece of acceptance to me feels like I have a reservation for a letdown, for a go back out and use. And that's something I don't want a part of my life anymore. It's something that I feel like I don't need that justification anymore to be okay. It's hard. It is. It's hard. But at the end of the day, we have to love ourselves. We have to love ourselves to want to stop dying. And I'm tired of dying. I was tired of dying 2 years ago when I went into that office at that program and I fell on my knees and I just said, help me. What am I supposed to do? I'm tired. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to help myself? You give me a book and you don't even tell me the instructions to use it. How am I supposed to use it? I read it, but nothing feels like it has anything to do with me because I haven't even accepted the fact that I'm an addict. I haven't even accepted the fact that I'm powerless over so many different situations. Once I gained that acceptance, it's been a beautiful journey. I've lost a lot of good people in the midst of this journey, and I've gained a lot of strong friends. So if you guys don't get anything out of this video today but laughter, that's fine. But the one thing I want you to take from this is addiction is real. And it doesn't have a face on it. It doesn't have a name. It doesn't have a person's situation on it. It don't have your tax bracket on it. It doesn't have anything but an opportunity for you to ruin your life. It's an opportunity to begin to start killing yourself. And I'm truly to the point where I'm tired of dying. I see what I'm doing now is leading by example, because I never in a million years would have thought that my sister would have even admitted that she had a problem. Everyone is different, I'm telling you, with this addiction. Because what motivated me and kept me going to think that I don't have a problem is because my image stayed the same. Yeah, I lost a little weight. But my everything else stayed the same. So you couldn't look at me and say that I was going through something. You couldn't look at me and tell that I needed to talk to you. That's not everybody's story. Sometimes these drugs take you faster and stronger than you can blink your eye. So if you know anybody that is suffering from addiction, that needs help, don't sit back and judge them. Open up their book. Find out who they are. Find out what's going on that is keeping them in this bondage. Because you never know. You never know. Just because you can't judge a book by its cover. But you have to open that book up and figure it out. Open that book up and read it. Somebody took time to open my book up and read me, and it helped me. See, we got to give back. We keep what we have by giving it away. And that's all I'm asking. Each one teach one, right? So that's what we have to do. We have to help that fallen addict. We have to give that addict a ride to a meeting. We got to show them and teach them the way, that there is a better way to live. I've learned that you can't want this for anybody. You can't live this for anybody. You can't do this for anybody. You have to do this for yourself. You have to start loving yourself. You have to want more for yourself. And it's possible. It's never too late to get help. It's never too late to get help. No matter how prestige you may think you are, you'd be surprised at the type of rehab that I work at. It's not one of these Medicaid rehabs, baby. It's not one of these Medicaid rehabs. These people spend a lot of good money to come here, and some of them are prestige people. And you could never look at them and tell that they had a problem. But it's the same person that you've looked down on walking past is the same person that's helping you become a better person, that's talking you through your sickness. So you just never judge a book by its cover. You never talk down or degrade anyone. In this program, it teaches you, I think it teaches you love. Because you have to show some type of love or compassion to even speak to somebody. How hateful people are nowadays. You have to have some type of love or compassion in your heart to want to take time to help this person. Before I end this video, I'm just going to tell you how my sponsor met me. Told you every meeting I would sit and go, and I would just look at everybody else like I was there for a concert and shit. Hearing everybody else's story, like I'm doing an autobiography on everybody else, a social study, right? So my sponsor came up to me and she said, "Why are you sitting in the back like you at a fucking concert?" All I could do was look at this bitch like, oh, sorry. All I could do was like look at her and just like, I don't have an answer. She's like, so what's up with you? What? You on drugs? You on alcohol? You here with somebody? You visiting? I was like, no, I'm in a program. She's like, for what? You know, and I had to tell her, cocaine. Okay, so you an addict. That was my answer. What? I'm a visitor. Bitch, you you are an addict with a problem. And she has been my sponsor for going on 2 years, and I love her to death because she was the only one out of everyone that definitely called me out on my shit. Again, today is Addict Talk Tuesday. I have dropping shit. That's that addict shit right there. That's that addict shit for real. I have enjoyed talking to you guys and just giving you guys a piece of me, getting to know me, and enjoying this lovely video. So again, comment down below, like and subscribe. Leave me some ideas, like help me. What do you guys want to talk about? I don't want to make it just all about me, but I want you guys to know my story too. But I want you guys to get involved with your story as well. Again, I love you. Addict Tuesday, Closet Talk. Tomorrow, maybe.